Notts County tour now. There's some big delays between matches and match previews. So this weekend and Friday night, we're going to bring you a couple of videos just to keep the content rolling for Notts fans. So today we're going to do rating how the players have done so far this season. Now we've got 4 categories. We've got player of the season contenders. We've got impressive, average, and disappointing. Just before we kick off that, on Sunday we're going to be releasing a Q&A about anything Notts related, anything you want to talk about. So whilst you're watching this video, if you think of any questions, leave that in the comment section below, and we will almost definitely answer it in the Q&A and drop your name in there as well. So George, let's kick off. Sam Slocum.
The thing I like about Slocum is you just know what you get with him. He's been there. He's sort of done it. He's had promotions. He knows the game very well. If you watch his, he's not done that many, but he does a few post-match interviews. He knows the game very well. Not had the best season, I don't think. He's not conceded loads of goals, but he's not had to really face too much.
Last season, now the player of the season contender.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that does stand out in a good sense for me was the Stockport game. The shot that he did well to save, could have changed the game completely, and kept us in the game, kept it at a 0-0. We obviously went on to win that 1-0. In saying that, other than that, I can't really remember him doing too much else.
He's had a fair few clean sheets, but for me, the clean sheets have come against.
You can't brush that under the carpet.
No, I've come against teams. I don't know. I feel like games that we wouldn't have conceded anyway if he had been playing terrible because he hasn't had shots.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go average.
Average. I think average is fair.
Yeah, Richard Brindley, impressive straight away for me. He's had a few shaky moments this season. I think he's been at fault for one of the goals, but then you see he redeems himself in games with his assist, where he doesn't give the ball up. I think that was against Stockport as well. And then a last-ditch tackle in one of the most recent games. But it's impressive from me this season.
Yeah, he's shown improvements in parts of his game that I think he was lacking in last season. And I think you always look for that in a player where you can sort of pick fault with his game. So to see that, like you said, I'd agree. Impressive. Yeah. We'll go on to Sam Graham now.
Sponsored by who? Sponsored by Notts County Talk. Oh, when he got that goal against...
Love it.
Yeah.
Morpeth.
Average season.
Yeah.
He's not had enough.
He's not had much of a look in, I don't think. So you can't really give him much more than that. But he's obviously... We're sort of basing this off players that have played at least, 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
So on that consensus, I think average is fair.
Ben Turner. Now, for me, Ben Turner's had some games where he's been pushing the limits of player of the season contender in some games. And he's got other games where he's trying to knock someone's head off with a flying ninja kick. He's been every range. He's been player of the season contender some games, impressive, average, and disappointing. So for me, that averages out of disappointing.
I don't know. It's a tough one, I think, No,
I'm being harsh. I'm being harsh with disappointing because there's not been more disappointing moments. I'm going to go average.
Yeah, I think if you can spread the sort of the defensive mechanisms that he does have across 90 minutes instead of just letting it slip for that 1 minute, he'd be player of the season because for 88, 89 minutes of most games that he plays, he's solid. And it's sometimes when he has that too long to think about something, he seems to make that mistake, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So I think average, because like you say, it's very up and down. It's
average.
Not consistently good, is it, or bad? So next player, Rollinson. Now for me, he's borderline player of the season contender.
You can't put him in there.
I think honestly, he's the backbone of the back four.
You can't put him in player of the season contender. For me, there's only a few players in there. Nah.
The only one thing negative that I can say about Rollinson is that he didn't break that guy's legs. It was at Halifax when we conceded late and he was sort of chasing him back. If he'd have hacked him to the ground, we'd have won 1-0.
For me, he didn't do that. He didn't commit himself there. He actually was part of the reason we collapsed against Maidenhead because I think he was paired with Lacy, was just dreadful.
Yeah, I missed that game.
And did he have the mix-up when Ben Turner got the red? Was that him?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't deal with it then. So for me, that just drops him from player of the season to impressive. Yeah.
that's fair enough.
Right. Alex Lacy, a man that I thought would see loads more of, obviously been injured, but then never
Yeah.
really re-established himself. A man that I
No,
thought would be player of the season contender has not even made impressive. I think the performances he has, I think 6 games, it's going to be average.
cost us a goal as well in one of
There's
those
not much
games.
we can say about him, really, is there, this season?
No, we've not seen masses from him.
He'll
So
find his way back in.
yeah, he probably will. A bit disappointed, really. You know, when you look at him last season,
You think he's that
you were
far?
I think it would be harsh because you know, another player that knows the game well. You know, he writes a column in the Evening Post, so he's quite a literate guy who knows the
Yeah.
game.
No,
We saw it last season. Him and Rollinson, the partnership they had. You know, he's got that player in there, but there's just something not ticking this season. But hopefully, when he comes back, well, eventually when we play again, we'll see that Lacy. Yeah.
So average. Dion Kelly Evans.
I think we can make this one fairly swift because if you watch any of our videos, you'll know that we are Dion Kelly Evan fanboys. Player of the season contender.
Yeah, 100%. The first player to go in that category. Absolute.
Slater put him in there as well, didn't he? Player of the season so far.
Yeah. In our pay respect, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it.
Love a plug.
Yeah,
plug it.
Absolutely amazing. This season, he's played out of position. He's so committed. Yeah, really swift. Player of the season contender. 110%.
When you think the likes of McCrory being back, you can't really see him getting his place over him. But you know, we'll see what happens at the end of the season when it's thick and fast. On to Chickson then.
Disappointing.
For me, yeah, massively disappointing because I went to the Ilkeston game when he was one of the trialists, and I thought he looked really good. Obviously, it's a lower league team, but Ilkeston are they're a decent side who are obviously looking to push up, and he made it look like easy work against them. Really showed good intensity in that game, but we've not really seen too much of that. I don't think in the games he's played.
He's really disappointed me.
Yeah, he has me as well. And like the games that he has played in, nothing's really come from his side. It's always seems to be on the opposing side. So yeah, disappointing. Let's see a bit more from him.
Yeah, he's going disappointing for me. He's going to be the first player to drop into there. This one's a really hard one, Damien Mccrory, and I think we can be really quick on this. He has played, and we've included players that have played in a minute in the league at some point. It's got to be average. I think he could be. I don't think he's ever going to be a player that's going to get player season contender ever. I think he's not consistent enough to maybe get impressive. I think he's average, and I think if he played more, he would be average. It's just
I agree
straight off. Good player to have in the squad, but.
Yeah, 100%. The only thing I think he's going to come in handy for, I had his operation yesterday, so he should be back within 10 weeks, could be 3 months. So it's one of those. I think towards the end of the season when we've got that backlog, because he's quite versatile at the back, you can sort of put him anywhere. He will be a good player, I think.
Yeah, when we get to mid-May and everyone's got 2 games left, not to just starting their 19th game.
Average for McCrory. Jim O'Brien.
Now, I'm going to be serious here. I genuinely was thinking, shall I put him in disappointing?
Nah.
But I don't. His work rate takes him out of
that. 100%. Yeah, 100%. You can see him trying to piece it together in games. You know, he got picked over a Walker against Stockport. And look how that turned out. You know, we got the win. He's a real stiff player. Like, I just feel like when he's in the lineup, there's sort of that groan. It's like, he's not a winger. He don't work well out wide. But when you actually look at it, he grinds it out. He gets the results. He's good, you know, tracking back. He's good defensively, and going forward, he always has that bit of flair about him. So I quite like him. But again, we've not seen loads of him, so you can't really give him much more than average, I don't think.
Fair. No, I'm going average. Average to Jim O'Brien. Now, another tough one. Michael Doyle.
Player of the century.
Player of the century. No,
he's just credit to himself, isn't he? Everyone says it. It's a cliche thing to say, but he's 39 years of age. He's played it like near enough every minute of the league, if not every minute of the league this season so far.
The question for me is, does he drop? Let's carry on.
He doesn't look like he's going to be slowing down anytime soon, does he?
Question for me is he dropping player of the season contender or impressive? And I think there's been a couple of the games where we haven't quite done it. just
Yeah.
let it go. And he's just gone a bit missing. Now, I know he's older player, but like you say, he's got the energy, and he's just gone missing and left that midfield a bit exposed. So for me, he's as high up as you can get and impressive, but he's not player of the season contender.
Yeah, no, that's fair. One standout thing from Doyle this season was the ball through against Sutton that led to the goal. It's come up in the air. He's just booted it forward, and it's fell perfectly.
Yeah,
so
just impressive.
Yeah. Ooh. On then to his normal partner, Jake Reeves. I think this one speaks for himself. Another player that's played at every minute in the league so far. I think I was lucky enough to actually see him play at Ilkeston, another player I saw play. Like, I was actually at the game, and he was one of those players that was just linking up the play. I think he got the assist where he's putting that ball in over the top, and he has been doing that throughout the season. He's just a workhorse, isn't he? Absolute engine.
Is he joining Doyle?
Season contender.
Joining
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Definitely.
Player of the season contender.
A few nice assists and a goal as well.
Yeah, he's not scared of having a go on goal as well, is he?
No.
Had a few shots already this season.
Wolf. Now, someone that I know, Barnsley fan, runs a Barnsley channel on YouTube, telling me about Matty Wolf. Now, he said almost breaking into Championship team. They thought before he left, he could actually be a Championship rotation player and maybe work his way to starting. Why haven't we seen him? There's something going off. But Ardy's been impressed and we've extended his loan. But saying that, I really, really I'm a big advocate. I want to see him play and I have nothing against him, but he's been disappointing. And that's probably because he's not had the chances. But he's come with a massive reputation. He can't go anywhere but disappointing. But that's not in
100%. I don't think that's a reflection of his performances though, because against Morpeth, albeit one in the league, and it was against a lesser side, he was really good. I thought.
On a mud bath as well when he controlled the ball.
Oh yeah. So
for the hype that was with him,
100%. I do think we'll see him more. Like I said in the video, the schedule is going to be hectic if they don't prolong like the end date, which I think they're going to have to. There's going to be an absolute swimming pool of fixtures, isn't there, towards the end of the season? So it's going to be rotation is key. So I think we'll see a lot more of him, and I think he'll have to promise Barnsley that to prolong the loan.
Exactly.
Walker. Going to
I'm just going straight. There's nothing else we can say. Disappointing.
Yeah, wanted a bit more. We was told he was almost like Kyle Roberts. A few games, he played all right.
Yeah, disappointing.
Nothing to the level of Kyle Roberts. No.
Ooh, where's Thomas? Now, hear me out for this. Please hear me out for this.
I feel like we're both going to agree on this because of the way we feel about him and the way he started the season. But I'll let you go first.
Please, and if you're watching, hear me out. The first 4 games of the season, he was the best player. Despite not scoring, he was the best player in the Notts team. Against Dover, I think it was, he was the only decent player. He is a very good player at this level. And based off the 4 performances, I'm going to put him in player of the season contender. Because if he carried on, I'm telling you what, him and Wootton would have had that partnership. Based on those 4 games, because that's what we're basing people on, player of the season contender.
Yeah, no, I actually quite surprised you said that, to be fair, because I was going to say the same thing. And I thought it was going to be a bold statement, but you actually agreed with me. I think we're absolutely dying out for him, I do.
Yeah.
Just someone to play off Wootton, and you've seen Wootton can play off another attacking player so well. You've seen it with Knowles.
Yeah. Now it's come out that Wes Thomas now wants to train separately, and there's been a lot of hate for that and some support. Yeah. I've got to say, we don't know how bad he had COVID.
Yeah.
Hasn't he just...
He's just had a new child, so he's, I think, maybe a month old.
We don't know how bad he had COVID. It could have been a bad spell of COVID. Yeah. We don't know how much that's made him cautious, wary. We're in the worst part of the pandemic, and he's just had a kid. I don't think you can criticise that.
No, not at all. And Ardley said it in his press conference that the team are understanding.
But we're desperate.
So let's hope it dies down soon, and we see him back playing off Kyle Wootton. So yeah, player of the season contender. Bit controversial, but we'll move on to Enzio.
I think this one's really simple as well. I don't think we need to say much. He's a player of the season contender if he wants to be. Not if he wants to be. If it all works out for him. He's not average. He's not disappointing. He's impressive. No. He's not quite made it. He's an impressive player.
Yeah,
That's a really
100%.
good
No,
player.
I wholeheartely agree. Yeah,
But the start of the season balances him out to impressive. Yeah,
yeah,
it has to
definitely.
be. Kyle Wootton,
Player
another
of the season contender.
yeah
Next,
top scorer. Yeah,
just tirelessly trying to pick
rid-
something out. You know, when he's on
ridiculously
his
hard
own.
worker.
Yeah, ridiculous. I don't think it actually gets enough credit for how hard he does work.
No, player of the season
But
contender.
definitely, Ruben Rodriguez then.
Oh, this is tough.
Really, really, probably the most exciting player we have. I think. Definitely, because he's one of those players where with Cal Roberts, you know what you're going to get now. He's exciting to watch.
I think personally, he's an impressive player.
He is definitely just one of those players you want to see do well, and he creates a lot. He has a lot of attempts. So yeah,
I think
I think he's go on. What do you
impressive.
think? Yeah, definitely impressive.
Cal Roberts. Never thought I'd say this. I'm just going to breeze over it because I don't like to criticize Cal Roberts. I'm not criticizing him, but average, because what we've seen from him, he wasn't fully fit. He's not been.
He sets himself high standards, doesn't he?
Yeah,
That's the issue. And he struggled since the get go this season with injuries. So average is fair, I think.
Yeah. That leaves two. And this one's tricky. Elijah Sam.
I quite like him. I think
we're going to disagree on this one.
So far off the bench, he has a little bit more of a mark on the game. I think starting in a few games he started, he's played all right as well. But I think, you know, when you're playing sort of on those not best pitches, or when it's a cold night and you're sort of coming towards the last 20 minutes of the game, he's a great player to put on because he's quick and he's very strong and he's massive. So as a defender, when he's coming on the pitch, you're thinking, oh, for God's sake, fresh legs.
I mean, he's turned into Messi. He's nutmegged the fullback and then smashed the bottom corner.
But he's done some simple things wrong as well.
I think
times when he's just had the ball at the sideline and it's just rolled out.
I think average.
Yeah, another one of those overseas signings where you're expecting a little bit more.
It reminds me of Doyle, where I said Doyle is the highest possible. He could be an impressive. Elijah Sam's the highest possible. He could be an average, but he's just
great finisher.
Yeah,
great finisher.
Right, final one.
Last but not least,
Jimmy Knowles, and I tell you what, I could easily make a case for Jimmy Knowles in player of the season contender because he comes on and he does what he needs to do. He gets a goal, he gets an assist.
Well, if this was going off assist or goal contribution per minute, he'd be player of the season contender. Because, you know, every time he comes on the pitch, he seems to have an eye in for a goal or an assist. So I don't think for the amount he has played, you can put him in player of the season contender because we've not seen too much from him yet so far.
I mean, we're kind of contradicting ourselves with Thomas, but with Thomas, he's put in the performances.
Yeah, we've seen him from last season now.
And then
he's built on that.
They've been full performances with Thomas. Here, it's Knowles is coming on against tired players and teams that are chasing goals. So they're left open and things like that. So impressive, it's got to be
impressive. Yeah, but it like top bracket of impressive though.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, that's the video all wrapped up then. Like Tom said at the start of the video, we're doing a Q&A on Sunday, so any questions, let us know. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.